From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max on CW17. Hope you had a great week out there, Jacksonville, because we have a great show lined up for you this week. We got Mark Lamping, president of the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. Looking forward to catching up with Mark here at the bar. You'll hear from Chris Jackson with Carpet Man Flooring. Man, he's been growing that business for a long time, does a great job with that. Sweetwater 420's here. More to come headed your way. Of course, we want to welcome Carpet Man and Tom Bush BMW, the family of dealerships, here to the Horse's Mouth. More to come with Mark Lamping on CW17.
What makes the Tom Bush family dealerships so special?
It's because we treat our customers like family.
With you and with Tom Bush, we just felt an instant connection, and we knew that they were really, truly caring about our family and making sure we had the right vehicle.
We had a lot of fun.
We did.
Picking it out, getting the right one for you.
He hooked my kids up with some Volkswagen swag, and we enjoyed the whole experience.
We invite you to join our growing family.
Visit one of our 7 locations today and experience the Tom Bush difference.
All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on CW17. My good friend Mark Lamping, president of the Jacksonville Jaguars, joins me here at Tommy Max. Mark, great to have you, my friend.
This is one of the most comfortable interviews I've ever done.
Good, should be.
Having spent almost 20 years in the beer business, I feel right at home.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So you've been an executive with sports organizations for a long time. How did you get into it? How did you find that path?
Well, I'm really fortunate. As I mentioned, I was in the beer business. I worked for Anheuser-Busch for quite some time, and the last 5 years or so with Anheuser-Busch, I was head of sports marketing. Mm-hmm. And Anheuser-Busch also owned the St. Louis Cardinals. Right. And thanks to the baseball strike in 1994, they decided that they would prefer to have somebody out of the sales and marketing arena slide into the president of the St. Louis Cardinals, the baseball team. Typically had been the retiring head of the labor relations group. Like you would battle the Teamsters for 30 years, and your going away president would be go down and become president of the Cardinals. So because of the strike, they felt that coming out of the strike that there would be some sales and marketing issues, and I was a known quantity, and I was really, really fortunate and lucky to be named president of the St. Louis Cardinals in 1994. Anheuser-Busch turned around 2 years later and sold the team, so I figured that was their way to get back at me. But then I was lucky enough to stay on in the same position with the new owners, Bill DeWitt, and I was with the Cardinals from 1994 to 2008. Right. And my youngest son, Timmy, was getting ready to go off to college, and my wife and I are both from St. Louis, so I had the dream job. Yep. And the idea of if we're ever going to leave St. Louis, this was probably the time. I was due for another contract with the Cardinals. I typically did 5-year agreements. I was getting ready to turn 50. It would have taken me to 55. That probably would have been it. I don't know that I would have been changing jobs at that stage. Yeah. And an opportunity came up in New York.
With the MetLife construction, right? The building of that?
Yeah, the joint venture between the Jets and the Giants. They developed a football stadium up there, and I really fell in love with football up there. And then again, a very unusual thing happened that was very fortunate for me was Shad Khan had attempted to buy the St. Louis Rams.
Right, the Rams, right.
And in the midst of that, he knew that he would have to have somebody there day to day because of his other business interest, and the demands on his time are significant. And somebody had mentioned maybe I might be a good fit for that. But I had just gone to New York a couple years before that. Sure. And the transaction in St. Louis ended up not happening, and Shad buys the Jaguars, and I got a call from somebody asking if I'd be interested in coming down and talk to Shad. And the rest is infamy or history, however you want to describe it. So we moved down here. I guess it's been 5 years ago, and have had the time of our lives, and love this community, and very blessed to live here.
Well, you came in at a time where this team was struggling. The organization was struggling, right? We've gone through some great years. Jack Del Rio had some good years. We had some down years. You guys come in. So when you get here in 2012, did you know it was going to take 3, 4, maybe even 5 years to get how you wanted this organization to be?
Well, on the football side, I would have no basis to
Okay.
to set a timetable. You
Yep.
know, I know that, after I was here a year and Dave Caldwell came in, Dave thought it was a 5-year
Right.
plan.
Sure.
But on the business side of the organization, I felt that we could move quicker, and the reason I thought that is that, Shad, is very ambitious. He's not somebody who likes to take a long time to accomplish things, and so we jumped right in.
Yep.
Shad had specific expectations, and they were very reasonable. And at the same time, he provided a tremendous amount of support and gave all of us the autonomy to make decisions. So the first thing we did was, try to assemble the best staff we can, made up of a lot of people who were already here, but then supplementing that with people we were able to recruit to come here to Jacksonville. And on the business side, we started making progress right away, and feel very good about where we are, not the least of which is the quality of the staff we have.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. I know one of the things you focused on earlier was that game day experience, which is second to none in the National Football League, maybe in all pro sports. We're going to talk about that when we come back here on The Horse's Mouth. We're live with Tommy Max. Mark Lamping is my guest, and we're airing right here on CW17. Stay tuned. Brought to you by All right, welcome back to The Horse's Mouth here on CW17. Mark Lamping is sitting here with me at Tommy Max. Mark, we were talking about the early part of your career with the Jags, and that game day experience was so important. And I get it, right? As you're building up the team, well, we got to make it better for the fans. And it looks to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but with the pools and everything else going on, you really wanted to attract that younger fan base that saw it as, hey, we love our team, we want them to do well, but we're also here to have a good time and enjoy ourselves on game day.
Well, when Jag fans invest their hard-earned money, and it's a tough decision because football games are not inexpensive, we want to make sure that when they leave that they feel that they've gotten a great value for that investment. The first thing that was important to Shad is that we set aside this whole perception that if the Jaguars don't do well and if people aren't coming to the games, that somehow it's the community's fault. Mm-hmm. That's not the case at all. If people aren't coming to the Jaguars game, it's our fault. It's not the fans' fault. So what we had to do, it's easier to focus on improving the game experience because we can do that quicker. That comes with a commitment, that comes with the right training, and it comes with the investment. And Shad was prepared to do that along with our great partners at the city of Jacksonville.
Sure.
One of the first things we wanted to do was to give the stadium a personality. Mm-hmm. We wanted it when somebody tuned in on TV and they saw a game from Everbank Field, that they knew, oh yeah, that's the stadium in Jacksonville, Florida.
Sure.
That's why the pools were an important part.
Yeah.
Of what
Who came up with the pool idea? Just
you know what?
Can you share that, or is that deep secret stuff?
Great ideas have hundreds of multiple.
Okay.
Bad ideas are all mine. But
that's right.
But
spoken like a true leader, Mark.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
And unfortunately, it's true
It
far
is.
too many
It
times.
is. You're right.
But the idea of making sure that the stadium had a credible personality.
Yeah.
That fit into this community. And the fans demand a lot more things today than when I was growing up. Just being connected so that you can, keep in touch with the babysitter at home. 25 years ago, nobody had cell phones.
That's right.
The idea that with the growth of social media and people want to publicize their experiences immediately.
Yep.
They want to take a picture and they want to get it posted, and here's where I am. They don't want to wait till the next day to do that.
That's right.
So focus on those things that we can control. Wireless connection, making sure we had good Wi-Fi, making sure that we blocked and tackled properly, meaning parking's well managed.
That's right.
People smile when you come in.
That's right.
Shorter lines at the concession stands, clean restrooms. So a lot of things that fans certainly expect.
All right. Obviously, great job with that. Right. This is called The Horse's Mouth because we get it straight from the source. Right. Why is London so important to the Jacksonville Jaguars organization?
Because it's a key element of being able to offset the inherent problems in Jacksonville because of the city size.
Okay.
This is one of the smallest NFL markets. It has one of the lowest average incomes. It has one of the smallest concentrations of Fortune 500 companies. Mm-hmm. And all of those things have an influence on revenue. Revenue is the king in the NFL. And one of the problems that the Jaguars had over the years was being able to compete with NFL teams in other markets. What we've been focused on doing is not only maximizing the revenue that we can deliver here in Jacksonville, but find those new revenue streams that can help supplement that. London is an important part of it. Some of our extensions into other businesses, like Daly's Place, is an important part of that.
Sure.
And with the upcoming developments on Lot J and the shipyards, again, are part of creating a stable financial infrastructure underneath the football team.
That's fantastic. Look, I know that the NFL is very excited about London. You don't have to answer this, but this is my gut. I think Shad's going to be the first dual owner. Don't you don't have to comment on it, but I think he's going to be the first dual owner. I think he can eventually own 2 franchises. I mean, look, you're running Fulham, right? I mean, you've got soccer. You're over there anyway. Why not? And the NFL may want a team there, but I think that would be pretty outstanding because they could help one another, And you're international, so it's good.
I don't know.
I'm not this isn't called put you on the spot, by the record.
No.
Just my 2 cents.
That's probably the best argument that I've had for. You probably took one hit too many.
That's right. Very good, very good. You put me in my spot there, Mark. More to come here with Mark Lamping. We're going to get into the Jaguars, Tom Coughlin's arrival, and the excitement that's ahead of us for 2018 right here in the city of Jacksonville. Stay tuned for more of The Horse's Mouth. All right, final segment here with Mark Lamping, of course, president of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but much, much more internationally and in other sports. Mark, a great time to be a Jag fan, a great time to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. You guys bring in Tom Coughlin, you pair him up with Doug Marrone. You and I spoke off air that when you got a coach and the guy picking the talent on the same page as what type of player they want, that can go a long way. And, man, you've really built an awesome team to look forward to this year.
Well, all the credit goes to Shad. That was Shad's decision to create that structure. I didn't even know about it until, Shad called me a few hours before they were announcing that he was going to hire Tom.
Yep.
I'd been part of that process interviewing the head coaches, but, that was all Shad. Give him all the credit. And it was a risky move because you never know how those things work, and they haven't worked in other markets, as you know.
That's right.
Homegrown had a little trouble with that. Parcells didn't necessarily last when put in that role, but the combination of Tom Coughlin and Tom is as unique and special of a person as there can be, and somebody who really, really cares about this community. Always kept his home here, as you know. And then pairing him up with Doug Marrone. Philosophically, in terms of what their values are as it relates to what their expectations are from football players, focus on discipline, focus on teamwork, focus on team way above self. It's a great match, and you didn't know how it was going to work with Dave Caldwell coming into that. And Dave made it work, and he's excelled, and it's awesome that Dave is getting all the credit that he deserves. For building a really, really strong roster, really from almost nothing.
No doubt about it. I mean, on defense, the guys you've added on offense, the draft. I'm glad Bortles is back. He's a guy that I look forward to watching. I think he's got that grit that you need, at that position. So, and how do you make it work with 3 guys? I mean, you got Caldwell, you've got Doug, of course, and you got Tom Coughlin. Communication is always the key in any relationship. I got to imagine. Same bodes true here.
Yeah, well, that's up to those guys, and they report up to Shad. I have a peer relationship, with Tom, and it's football's not easy.
No,
it's
right.
It's, and in this particular marketplace with with where the team was, and the right time to make that type of change. I don't know that a Doug Marrone and a Tom Coughlin could have done what they did with the quality of the roster that Dave inherited.
That's right.
But now that you've got quality, and what's missing is taking that high level of talent, and there's a lot of teams that have a high level of talent,
absolutely,
and making it perform and making it achieve and create results. Tom and Dave Tom, Dave, and Doug are perfect for that assignment.
I tell you, you already mentioned with Tom, and I've known him for a long time, playing for him at Boston College. He wants you to achieve for individual greatness. He wants you to be the greatest individual that you can possibly be. However, that's not above the team. The team has to come first. And you and I both know, I don't care what organization you're talking about, that's a challenge to get it from the top all the way down to the bottom, you know, and everyone in between to buy into that and really believe in that and work that way.
And you can't be afraid to talk about winning.
Right.
You know,
That's right.
And that's that may have been hard to do when maybe the prospects of winning were really low. But, you know, just on the business side, you can't go through our offices and not see, you know, boards that are explaining exactly what people did that day. Mm-hmm. You know, we have rankings of our salespeople. It's updated automatically. It's there for everybody to see.
Yeah, right.
And you know, if you can't work in that environment, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that that's probably not the right field for you.
Accountability is a tough thing, Mark. Right? I mean, it is.
You know, it's if you're not measuring.
Yep.
You know, you're not managing.
That's right.
And
wow.
And you know, you have to have some basis because you need to be objective.
Yep.
You just can't say, hey, you know, I really like this person, I like that person, therefore that person's going to get ahead in the organization. It doesn't work like that anymore.
That's right. Yeah. No, definitely not. It's a fair, level playing field. All right, on the field, we're looking good. Daly's Place is a big success. The indoor practice facility is awesome. You guys got big plans for Lot J. I mean, you know, look, Shad Khan is invested, and I'm not just talking financially, he's invested in the future of Jacksonville. He sees the potential, especially in the downtown market.
Well, Shad made a commitment from the first day he bought the team to do everything that he can to make sure that Jacksonville has a stable, financially stable, consistently winning NFL franchise. Yep. And these things are all part of that. And the second thing that we realized early on is that if downtown Jacksonville does well, the Jaguars are going to get more than our fair share of that. So as downtown goes, so will go the Jaguars. And the good news about that is our interests are aligned with the city. So,
That's right.
So we've been able to develop partnerships that make sense for the city, that make sense for us, and we've been able to get stuff done and get it done relatively quickly.
Hey, real quick, as we wrap up here, congrats to Shad and to you with Fulham making it into the Premier League. I mean, I'm not a huge soccer guy, but I know that's a huge accomplishment in the soccer world.
Well, Shad bought Fulham 5 years ago.
Yep.
The team was in the Premier League. He bought the team in August. The season started a week later or so. And then in that year, the team gets relegated. And the past 4 years have been as difficult of a management challenge that I've ever been involved with or observed. Mm-hmm. And to see it culminate last Saturday with the team getting promoted back into the Premier League, I'm so happy for so many people, but the person I'm most happy for is Shad Khan.
Yeah, that's great.
And the same with the success of the Jaguars last year. You know, nobody wants to win more than Shad does, yep. and he sets that objective ahead of everything else.
That's fantastic. Mark, really appreciate you coming on the show, brother. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Real quick as we wrap up, I ask everybody this, what's the single ingredient to success, and what does Mark Lamping do to unwind? You know, you got a lot going on. How do you chill out? If you ever get to.
Yeah, single ingredient to success. It's hard to distill it down to one, but you know, surround yourself with the best possible people.
Great.
If you have to just pick one. And what do I do like to unwind? You know, I'm a relatively high handicapper, but I like to play golf. Probably 85 to 90% of the rounds I play with my wife.
Okay,
and,
cool.
So, you know,
awesome.
There's not a lot of free time. But I can tell you I take full advantage of it.
All right. Great stuff, buddy.
All right, Tom,
thanks again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, Mark Lamping from the Jags. Was a great time here on The Horse's Mouth. We'll wrap it up in just a moment because first, Up Close and Personal is headed your way. I caught up with the founder and owner of Carpet Man, Chris Jackson, on Up Close and Personal right here on The Horse's Mouth. All right, time once again for Up Close and Personal here on The Horse's Mouth. This time around, we have a good friend of mine, Chris Jackson, the Carpet Man, who is a homegrown Jacksonville business owner and has done a fantastic job. Chris, great to have you on the show, brother.
Thanks, Tom.
And welcome to the bar, man.
This is awesome.
Tommy
setup,
Max,
man.
not bad, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Not bad at all. Well, man, we've known each other a long time. Back when I was doing radio, my own radio show, The Carpet Man was one of my sponsors for many, many years. You have grown tremendously. I was checking you out, doing my homework, and man, congratulations on so much success. It's really awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. It's been a ride like no other.
I bet.
Especially with the recession, the economy, and all the growth in Jacksonville. You know, I've been real fortunate to, you know, make it through the recession.
Yep.
And have some of the most fabulous people that work day to day with my company and just make it happen.
Yep. So what do you attribute it to, Chris? You know, going through the ups and downs, being successful. I mean, is it all leadership? Is it your culture? Is it just a philosophy of how you do business and how you live your life, or is it a combination of those?
It's for sure a combination.
Yeah.
Tom, it's a lot like putting together a winning football team.
Mm-hmm.
In business, you have to have a game plan. I put that in some of my commercials.
Yep.
And you take that, and then you add some of the most experienced, good people, good-hearted people that really care.
Yep.
You combine that, and by golly, you might win the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
So there you go.
Is it hard to find good-hearted people?
Well,
consistent, good-hearted people.
Well, to be honest with you, it is.
Yeah.
That's been one of the most trying things for us as a growing business. My business has tripled in the past 5 years.
Yep.
And so we're always looking for experienced people, sometimes non-experienced, that just want to take the bull by the horns.
Yep.
Okay, and are just energetic, and they want to learn. So I never turn those type people down.
Yeah.
So.
Now you're a former safety. You played at Middleburg. You loved hitting. You know, football and sports has been a big part of your life. You're. I know I'm loud on the show, but normally I'm pretty laid back. I'm talking a soft voice from time to time, but you seem that way too. How do you do the transition when you may have to get on somebody? You may have to say, hey, you know, you're not doing the job, and you have to do your way. What's your overall philosophy?
Well, you know, in life it's work hard and play hard.
Yep.
In business, you know, it's a lot like raising your kids or my grandkids. You know, you gotta put these boundaries in place.
Yep.
That I'm not real like watchful eye, hawkeye over people, but you put these boundaries in place, and you know, when they do good things, you hug them, you bring them in close.
That's right.
When they don't do right, you got to let them know.
Yep.
And you know, so you got to be firm.
Yep.
You know, in the business world, it's all about the customers. If you're not making customers happy, by golly, they're going to let you know.
Yep.
And
that hurts the bottom line. I mean, that's what it is.
Absolutely. You got to take care of people. You got to do them a good job.
Yep.
And you know, one thing we've never done is through this whole process, I've never changed my prices.
Wow.
And that's key. You know, most people, I mean, we do anywhere from 20 to 50 jobs a day.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So we just haven't changed our philosophy on what we're doing. If anything, internally on the front end, I've gotten better buying the product.
Yep.
With prices increasing all over the industry right now, I'm buying back-end bulk truckloads lower than I've ever bought them before in my life. So we're just keeping that philosophy going. And the people of North Florida, South Georgia, as far as Lake City, Gainesville, they've heard about us. They call us and they said, all right, come on.
Yeah.
We're ready to save some more money.
Awesome.
So there you go.
That's fantastic. Look, you know, Jacksonville, I mean, the economy's doing great, right, throughout the country. Jacksonville's booming. How much, though, of the Jags winning last year? Because I always think when they win, people are happier in this town. People want to do more business in this town. They want to spend more money in this town. As a business owner, do you feel that as well?
Now, Tom, we were so fired up. We put it on the board, our LED boards. My wife, the day before the home game of the Bills, she said, let's go buy a bunch of cups. So she had me, she did a lot of them. You know, we're putting Go Jags and cups across the fence. What a great thing for the city.
Oh, awesome.
And, you know, the ups and downs of sports, team sports, really tough. You know, it's not like you're out there just playing tennis and hitting the ball. You got to all come together.
No offense to tennis players.
No.
I'm only kidding.
I went to Flagler College, and there, you know, it was all about tennis there, even though I played basketball. But they, you know, it's a team sport. Everybody's got to work together, and great leadership, obviously. And you see what's happening with them, and it's no surprise they're successful, in my opinion.
I feel like I agree. I feel like I should be like, I'm with the Carpet Man, right? You wear the cape normally, but that's a great logo, great everything that goes along with it. How can people find you if they haven't found you already?
Well, we have two of the largest facilities really in the entire state of Florida for flooring. Been real fortunate to acquire these buildings. And one of them's at 1988 Wells Road in Orange Park. The other one's at 1770 St. John's Bluff. It used to be the old Bourbon Street. It was like 7 clubs.
Yeah, right.
And we're still rehabbing the building, kind of, trying to get it up to snuff, as you would say. And most people, to be honest with you, they go to our website, they see one of our free estimate numbers. Yep. And one of my salespeople will, they'll figure out what they're looking for and just bring it to their house, Tom. Yeah. Who's got time for all this running around and this traffic in Jacksonville? You know what I mean?
That's right.
So they can do that and or go to the stores and we'll be happy to help.
Carpetman.com?
Carpetman.biz.
.biz, okay.
.biz, and matter of fact, we're working on our website now to update it with all these internet changes and stuff. So.
Well, Chris, great to have you on, man.
Thanks
Always a
me,
pleasure,
Tom.
my
Yes, sir.
friend.
All
Chris
right.
Jackson with the Carpet Man here on Up Close and Personal. More to come on the Horse's Mouth right here on CW17. Oh, wow, what a great show we had this week. Want to thank Mark Lamping from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not only an awesome career in what he's done with the Cardinals and overseas and what he's done with the Jags and Shad Khan's soccer team, but, man, what a great guy and really caring about the community. Loved having him on. Of course, Chris Jackson, he's the founder of the Carpet Man. He is the Carpet Man. Great to catch up with him as well. Want to thank Sweetwater 420. Of course, want to thank Carpet Man. Want to thank Tom Bush BMW and all the great sponsors here on this show. It's a pleasure bringing you the Horse's Mouth each and every week on CW17. So that'll do it for us this week, Jacksonville. Stay cool out there now and be safe. We'll catch you next time right here on the Horse's Mouth live from Tommy Max. Until then.